wanna do. Ooh, ooh. Hey, Scott. I am 3+Kei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. And this space, where did I put it? This space is called the Secret Heart Club, and it's the intention. Everybody's welcome here, but the intention is for the oddball Christians and the Christ curious to congregate in community. And I wanted to show you something that I got from another kind of fitness person. Hold on a second. I'm only put this here for a second. Hold on one second. All right, we got to get into this. We got to get into it quickly. But first, let's sing a song. Let's get this out of here. This meal was tasty. This is Alfredo. It was like a pound of shrimp with 10 ounces of squash noodles, which is it's just squash noodled. Like spaghettied. And then I put the Alfredo in there. Bomb. And nutritious. It was like less than 500 calories, and it was like a ton of food. All right, let's kind of get into it. Sorry, somebody didn't turn off their phone. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Secret Heart Club. Everyone does their part to bring love, be loved. We love Jesus at the Secret Heart Club. My dad said it's out of tune. So I know already. Anyway, I follow you could call her a fitness influencer. I follow a channel. Her name is Adrienne Barry. I would love to interview her or meet her or whatever. The short of her story is probably 5 years ago, she was obese, in jail, addicted to meth and fentanyl. And today, you would not be able to tell literally any of that. She has the body. When you see her body, she has a type of body that anyone would be like, I could never look like that. I could never do that. And that's kind of her whole thing is being, at some point you have to be honest with yourself and just be like, I'm fat. I'm out of shape. I hang out with enablers. And that's kind of her very straight talk. And anyway, she looks fantastic. And I would like to look like that. The other part is that she's 40 like me. So all this, and she's had 2 babies. So all this I can't lose the baby weight, blah, 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 blah. She is a living example. So anyway, I follow her channel and she responds to you, which I think is really cool. Let me just say, Ava says, you have such a beautiful soul. Remember Jesse McCartney? I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you and your beautiful soul. Remember that? That was the song. Say frizz, please, if you see this. I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means. Tracy Chapman. Yeah. I was into Tracy too. She had a song of hers. You got a fast car. It got remixed by a country star, and people were super duper upset about it because that's the thing that happens. And it was really cool. He ended up doing like this huge show and brought her on stage and gave her flowers. So it wasn't like, hey, I did this cover of this lady from like 20 years ago and now I'm making millions off of it. But I'm the new face of it, because that happens, right? He brought her on stage and I thought it was like super. Was it Luke Combs? Luke Combs did it. Yeah. And so right, then okay. All right. Well, welcome aboard, Country Cowboy. I mean, you could be here. I'm not going to argue with you. You can feel how you feel. Team Aaron. Let me see. Let me go back. Somebody said Walk of Fame. We might have to talk about that. Laura Poppy says, hey, Poppy, hey, Poppy. Waka Flocka Flame going live. Is that supposed to be a insult? Waka Flocka Flame. I'm sure that I think that's supposed to be an insult. Waka Flocka Flame had one of the best turnarounds in hip hop history. I accept that. I would be so fortunate. Poppy says, people come on here, by the way, and they're like, oh, Chief Keef and blah, 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 any black person with dreadlocks. And it's like, all of those people are rich and famous. That's like, okay. Do you know? That's when, like, you're not racist. Remember when that other person came up? You're not racisting correctly. You're not doing it right, guy. Poppy said, I remember the beef between Aaron Carter and Jesse McCartney fans. I'm going to have to look that up. Team Aaron. I don't know. Okay. There we go. Poppy says, I'm surprised you didn't know what an angel tree was. Yeah, I've been thinking about this kind of all day. So here's the plan, Poppy. What I need you to do is go to that angel tree and pick out like Sarah or, Molly, whatever. Just get a Sharpie. You got to bring a Sharpie. And you just, boop, boop. Do you know how to spell my name? L-A, it's a capital K. E-I-T-H-A. And you just put it on there. Okay? All right. Because we're a team. We got to put Lakeitha on the angel tree as well. Columba, welcome. So I was talking about Adrienne, the lady who is in like amazing shape. And she was like, if you're in a cut, which I am, I got you. She's like, here's what you do. You go get some pickles and you can eat these when you've already met your caloric max. So if you guys want to talk about it, we can talk about it now if somebody says they want to. But basically you want to know what your BMR is, your basal metabolic rate. Mine is 1,675 calories, somewhere in there. So like you whatever your BMR is, you absolutely have to hit that every day. It's what your body, how many calories your body burns if you just stood still all day. So it's like the very bare minimum. So when people are like, oh, I ate 1,000 calories today, it's like, you're doing far more damage than you think you are. You're not doing anything, and your body is going to essentially rebel against you, and you're going to put on all that weight plus some. So you want to figure out what your BMR is. and then work from there. Anyway, mine is 1675, and I'm attempting 148 to 165 grams of protein a day. And so for that, I hit my my calories fairly early on. And so her point was, if you hit your calories and you're still hungry, right? So for tonight, I've got a steak and broccoli, and like the whole bag of broccoli, and 0.84 pounds of steak. And I'm hungry right now, and I haven't eaten for a while. So what I was gonna do was eat a pickle and tell you if it's satiating. And while I'm doing it, I'll let you know. Ooh, okay, let's spill. Let's. They are 0 calories, which I didn't anticipate. I thought there would be some amount of calories, which is why you can eat them. And so what I'm seeing is if I'm going to be, we have 20 more minutes. So I'm going to see how hungry I am at the end of the 20 minutes. Ben said he just ate a king-size pickle from Jimmy John's. Yeah. And I think maybe for us folks that ain't got no money, pickles are the way to go, because what you could do also is buy a ton of cucumbers, but you're going to spend way more money. And then if they spoil, believe me, I've actually been down that road several times. If they spoil, you're out all of that money for these, organic cucumbers, which are like $2 or $3 each. You're just out. Okay. So, in 20 minutes, I'll tell you guys if I'm less hungry. But I went and got it. And a steak. Poppy says, I only eat best made giant pickles. Yeah, I didn't know which. I actually don't like pickles. If I do, I like the sweet ones, the Jerkins. But, I don't know. We'll see. I'll do anything. By the way, for those of you who are regulars here, I'm down 5 pounds in about a week and a half. And people continue to say that I won't lift 188 in April. I'm here to tell you, I might mess around and tell y'all 200. I might mess around and tell you 200. Ben says, pickled cucumber grows really well around here. Does it? I can't wait to have my own place. I can't wait to have my own, like with a place where I can grow food in peace. Davey says, what up, Key? Or that's how I heard it. Dave says, what's up, Key? Just got my egg whites and Hall of Protein. I'm trying to tell you, we gonna do this. And I want everybody to know we're just waiting. When I say, when we wrap up the daily live streams, it will be replaced by something. And what I would kind of like is either, and I have to check out the monetization, either Rumble or StreamYard. I just need to, so we can see each other. I'm kind of over. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm kind of over like being uh like a face to see. You know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna talk about Jesus, baby, let's get it going. Let's get a thing going. Poppy says, I can't lose weight. Poppy, you shouldn't be worried about nothing right now. You shouldn't be worried about nothing but them babies. And finding Molly's name on that angel tree with your Sharpie and crossing it out. Remember, it's L-A capital K. Just don't forget that part, because, people. There we go. Davey says, let's go. And best believe that competition I will be streaming. Poppy says, I'm a cow. For those of you who don't know what Poppy looks like, she's like a little nugget. Don't listen to her. She's like a little chicken. She's like a little itty bitty lady. I told you, I'll put you on an elder person tree. Hey, listen. Okay? It's just a few gray hairs. It's just a few. Okay? Jesus, we weren't here yesterday. Ben, let me know if I can share it. The picture. Ben and I went to last night, which is why there was no stream. Ben and I went to here it is. He said it. Get ready. Me and Ben and me. Hey, look at me and Ben. Ben and I went to a light ceremony. It was my first time. I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit. And we just sang like Christmas songs. It was very nice. It was at my church, which merged with a different church. And I was telling you guys, because it's so small, both churches are small, very small. Mine is like 30 people. It's just super friendly. And we had a good time. And as you can see, there's some s'mores, and I have never made s'mores before. And there was some assistance between one lady, and Ben kind of coached me through the whole thing. There were some fires, and that's, it's a little bit of my bad, but it got done. And this is me very proudly holding my first s'mores. And this has been tolerating me very well. Per usual. So well, he tolerates me. I love it so incredibly much. Let's see. Poppy says, I'm a cow because I make milk, not because I'm fat. Dang. Sometimes when you say that would be one instance, how I was telling you guys, I talk so much, but my heart is like, I always mean well, but sometimes I talk so much without thinking, and then I say something, and then I'm like, I'm sorry. That's a clear example of that. I'm over here like, don't worry, girl. Happens to the best of us. She's like, I meant. This is when you like slowly. But yeah, it was a great night. It was so good. There's a lot of like adoptive, and not a lot because it's a small church, but for as small as it is, the representation of adoption and fostering, top tier. And it's funny, you guys know, sometimes I complain about the local church not doing what it's supposed to and blah, 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 blah. And it was kind of funny because the pastor's wife we were talking to, she was kind of like hitting on the thing. I don't know, Ben, if you like caught that, but like she was kind of like hitting on like all the things I complain about with the church. And it really just kind of resonated again that very well could just be in the right place and just kind of stumbled on it. So the larger thing is we were doing this church crawl, or really I was. The point was, number one, to find a church home, and number two, to encourage others to find their church homes as well. And so that was just accomplished. And I would just say, like, totally get it, guys. Hey, Rosa. Totally get it that we can suck. I'm in the group too, in the church. We can suck. We can suck sometimes, and sometimes you don't want to be around those people. And I would say, and this isn't the biblical thing, and this isn't, I know a lot of people would disagree because many people are like, just bear down and endure it, and you're there to serve. And I honestly, which is why I'm not an authority on all things churchy. I'm just a woman attempting to be obedient to Christ. But if your mental health is compromised for some reason, if you're seeing a lack of integrity in churches and like the church you're going to, you don't give up on God. I know so many people that are like, I'm done with the church. And it's like, the thing is like, who's holding you accountable? Who has eyes on you that can speak biblical correction over you? One person alone has not mastered the interpretation of God's word, right? This is something you are meant to chew on for a lifetime. And obviously there's prayer involved, obviously. But part of that is also you're meant to get around other people that have questions too. And maybe sometimes you have a little bit of knowledge to fill in their gaps, right? And so that's what I'm saying is like, you gotta just keep going. Take a break if you need to. We all get it. You know, I actually don't know anybody that's been consistent for a lifetime in the church. You know, I think I've known everybody, including pastors, that have had to take a beat, take a step back at some point, right? Poppy says, people be in here playing too much, I swear. I'll tell you this, shout out to you guys, because I don't know. It shows up to me as like Bob the Knob was timed out by Ben and Spazzler. So I don't see it. So shout out to you guys. This channel would not exist without moderation. That's a fact. I'm not with it. You know, so thanks, guys. Let's see. What else is God doing? We went and looked at a place today, and it was wrong. I was wrong. I thought it was like a different piece of housing, and it wasn't. So I think when I conceptualize it, so we'll talk to the real estate agent tomorrow. When I conceptualize it, it would be more like I would purchase for the purpose of renting it out. I like that idea versus me moving in, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Show's not over. What is Jesus doing in y'all's lives? What's he doing, bro? You know? This week, my Google Photos gave me a like a lifetime recap, basically, of the last 7 years. And the first video was from 2017. And you know, I'll show you guys when I have time, but I mean, I was out here looking very terrible. You know, I know you're not supposed to use the word ugly, but I mean, I really, it was pretty bad. I had bad skin. I had big puffy blackened eyes. Actually, at some point I was at a fast food restaurant with whatever guy friend, and the girl was motioning to me as if he was beating me. That's how bad the blackening around my eyes was. Anyway, at some point, you know, I just started to work on myself consciously. I had a glow up in 2019 over a 5-month period, and I documented it. GLOUP. It was like God, love, openness, look up, and whatever the P was. But I took 5 months to see how far I could get if I worked on my mental and physical and emotional and spiritual health. Poppy says, I had a good first day back at work. You're back at work already? This system sucks. You hear over there in Sweden, do you guys ever watch those videos where somebody's like, I broke my foot and I still had to go to work in the afternoon? And then somebody from like Switzerland is like, sucks to be an American. You know, I broke my foot and my job gave me unemployment for 16 years. I exaggerate, but that's so interesting. I wonder if there's like a downside to systems like that. Just as there's a downside to ours, although I think it's largely just money driven. Excuse me. Something that lives rent free in my head. Sorry, I'm derailing a little bit from, this isn't like a Jesus centered conversation, but I'll get back to it. But something that lives like in my head is that things you get fines for, if you get a fine for whatever, speeding or anything you get a fine for, if you have money, you can just do those things and just pay the fine. That lives in my head. You know. And more so, this might cause me some hate, but I'm less of a person that's like, that's really unfair and what am I going to do? You know, I'm more of a person of I want to go be the type of person that has not the money, not so I can do whatever I want, but if I do come across a fine, it's not consequential to me. It's okay. Like if I can't make it to a doctor's appointment, I can pay it's not a late fee, but the cancellation fee. I can do that. I would rather be on that side than the Like, oh, it shouldn't be this way. Because I think maybe it will be this way. I don't know. I'm just a lady on the internet, guys. But yeah, I'm glad you had a good first day back at work. Poppy! Just a little rock and roll for you. And then next week is Christmas. So, I don't know if Ben agreed to this, but I at least will go to. We're gonna double fist, Christmas Eve services at the church I used to go to, and then the church I go to now. And then if Ben's joining and he's feeling like extra ambitious, we can triple dipple this thing with his church. Did I say triple dipple? I did. All right. Well, that's that. We'll do this again next Friday. I think it's always good to be like, what is Jesus up to in my life? What's Jesus been doing? You know? All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I am ThreePlusKei, or Lakeitha for Poppy. Put my name on the tree. Cross out that little girl's name. Cross it out. Put my name on there. Capital K. I am ThreePlusKei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile. Oh, I didn't even show you this. Look at it. This is what, when we do, you can't get these yet. Can you see? You can't get these yet, but this is one such hoodie that we are testing out for sale. This will be the $100. There's 4 $100 hoodies. There's the office hoodie, this hoodie that has no name, another zip down hoodie, and then an oversized gym hoodie. And they will be the $100 hoodie collection for the purpose of raising capital for the James House. But we're just kind of like testing templates right now. Anyway, I am ThreePlusKei. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. We're here every night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I'll talk to you later.